everyone, and welcome to Alpaca Time's first live event. Bear with us, we haven't done this before, so if things go south, we'll try and fix it. I'm Deb, the owner of Alpaca Time. I'd like to introduce you to Andrea, one of our staff. She takes care of the store, gets us ready for shows, and so much more. And she's an avid knitter. Some of you may have met her at our yarn show. She's been knitting for 7 years and crocheting her entire life. She likes knitting sweaters best, but knits shawls, cowls, hats, fingerless mitts, any project that catches her interest. Andrea has never knit socks because she's done everything else with sock yarn. She also helps us dye our yarns and dabbles at dyeing herself. She exclusively uses natural fiber yarns, has an extensive pattern library. Andrea has a wealth of knowledge about yarns and is going to walk you through our Alpaca Time yarns, kits, and rovings. If you have any questions, ask away. We'll try and do our best to answer them as we go along. And if not, we'll get to them at the end. Enjoy.
Hi everybody, first off I want to say happy 4th of July to our American friends, and I hope you had a great Canada Day to all the Canadians out there. For those who aren't aware of the benefits of alpaca, I'll go through them briefly. Alpaca is 6 times warmer than wool. It wicks moisture, so it keeps you warm and dry, and it's hypoallergenic. And most people who can't wear wool can wear alpaca, and that's because the wool has barbs along the fiber, whereas alpaca is a smooth fiber that has microfibers along its length. This creates random air pockets that help insulate, and that makes it a great choice for garments like mitts, hats, scarves, and cowls. The only downside to alpaca is that it doesn't have any fiber memory. So we combat that by adding 20% nylon or 20% merino to our yarns, and that helps with elasticity. The only thing that we say about the fiber memory for not recommending knitting things is a heavy sweater, because we like to joke that you start with a sweater and end with a dress. It will just continue to stretch and not retain its original shape. We process the raw alpaca fiber here. We start by, Deb grades the fiber, classes it, and then we tumble most of the dirt out as much as we can. We wash the fiber, and then it heads into the mill where it goes through the picker, the carder, the pin drafter, and finally to the spinner, where the real magic happens because it starts to turn into actual yarn. This here is our yarn wall. We have weights from lace to super bulky, a lot of natural colors. We don't do a lot of dyeing for the heavier weights, and all different fiber blends. We have nylon, we have merino wool, we have sometimes both nylon and merino, and sometimes we have bamboo as well as 100% alpaca. We use something called grist, which is a measurement for the density of a yarn, measured in yards per pound. For every weight that we're used to using as knitters and crocheters, like sport and DK and worsted, we have a range of yards per pound, and that's how we know what weight the yarn is once it's been spun. The things that affect grist are the fiber that we're using, the blending fiber, and the number of plies. For example, the 4-ply sock yarn, we aim for more of a heavier DK weight, but sometimes, because it's 4 plies, it ends up as a lighter sport weight. These skeins here come in 6 different colorways, and they come in 150 gram or 5 1/4 ounce skeins. The lighter fingering weight yarn, sock yarn, is 3-ply, and that comes in 130 gram or 4.58 ounces. They're generously sized, so you can make a larger pair of socks or use a more elaborate pattern, something with cables, or you can make a nice size shawl as well. There are 6 grades of alpaca fiber. The grade 1-2 is the finest, and it's best for when you have something close to your face, like a cowl or a scarf. Average, what we use is grade 3 and 4, and we use that in the socks as well. Grade 5 we use a little bit, and grade 6 we use mostly for felted items like dryer balls and insoles. Over here, we have the roving. We have three kinds of roving, 100% alpaca, 100% merino, and 80% alpaca with 20% merino, which comes in white, fawn, and dark brown. And the colored part is the merino, that's the 20%. Brand new for this year, we have three different colors of 100% merino, the Seaside, Stained Glass, and Northern Lights. These are 4-ounce boxes, and they're completely unbroken. They have a starting point and an ending point with no joins in there at all. We also have brand new knitting kits. There are 6 original patterns, 3 shawls, 2 scarves, and a chunky weight cowl. The shawls are triangular as well as rectangular. These are both sport weight. Then we have a lace weight shawl as well, that's a rectangle. The scarves are both the same pattern. It's a waffle lace pattern, but one is a lace weight and one is a sport. We dye the yarn the same way that we do the sock yarn, which is we use large pots, it's called kettle dyeing, and we use weak acid dyes and large plastic syringes that we inject the dye into the pots. They're called acid dyes because you need citric acid or some kind of acid to set the dye into the yarn. We do as much as we can to prevent bleed, so you can take your finished project and wash it with confidence, knowing that the dye is not going to bleed into any other fiber that you've added to your project. We also have 2 new colors this year. They've been inspired by the Outlander series, Outlander TV series and books. One is Jamie and Claire, which is a really nice blend of purples, and the other is Full Moon Over Sky, which is whites and blues with a little bit of gray. Starting today, July 4th, and going to the 19th, July 19th, we have yarn kits and rovings that you see here on the website, 15% off for our FibreFix event. And we can do our tour of the store if there's no questions. Okay, so we make all the socks here. We have 6 different styles of socks and 2 different thicknesses. So in the thinner socks, we have Star Trekker, the Pro's Choice, which goes up just above the ankle, and the knee highs. And Relaxed Fit doesn't have any elastic in it, so it's great for diabetics or anyone with leg swelling. And then in the thicker socks, we have the Terry socks, which are named for the Terry loops on the inside. And we have a slipper version as well that goes just above the ankle. We also make headbands, mitts that are just like the Terry socks, and the hats are made in Northern Ontario with our fiber, and the insoles are made in Toronto. We try to do as much as we can with the fiber that we have. If it can be done with alpaca, we've done it. In here, we have our garment room. This is brand new to Alpaca Time. We renovated recently, opened up the space for all of the wearable items. A lot of it comes from Ecuador and Peru. These woven shawls were made by Deb. One of a kind. At the moment, we're working on repeatable, and she has some great patterned ones coming. We have 3 different styles of ponchos. We have the cape version, which has a collar and a coconut button. There's the cowl neck, which slips over your head, and the hooded poncho, which has a nice hood and the coconut button as well. Also from Ecuador, we have scarves. These are infinity, so they're sewn into a loop. These are rectangle scarves. They're 6 feet long. And we also have double blankets and single blankets. Singles are great for a throw on a couch, and doubles will fit a double bed or the top of a queen with a little bit of overhang. We also have these. These are Ruanas. It's a Peruvian style poncho. And it's different because it's knitted as opposed to woven. You can wear it different ways. You can put it over the shoulder. You can use a shawl pin in the front. You can put the fronts behind. They're very versatile. Great for an evening out because it just jazzes up your outfit. This is a puzzle that was, it was of a picture shot by Deb in Peru of a Peruvian, traditional Peruvian woman with an alpaca. And then we have so much in the store. We have soap, we have felted soap, we have all kinds of stuffies, and you can find most of this on the website. These are alpaca lions, and the bears, both are made from 100% alpaca. That's the real deal, very soft and warm. And then we have local products as well in store. If you ever want to stop by, we have maple syrup, local honey, jam. We also have emu products, which are great for any kind of skin condition because they have anti-inflammatory properties. So if you see anything that's in the store and not on the website, just give us a call. We'd be happy to put an order together for you. And we're very accommodating. So, any questions? No? Okay. That's the tour of our store. And thank you for joining us for our FibreFix event. We're sad that we can't go to any fiber shows this year, but this is the next best thing.